Yes, I know.
I'm not I love Bob, but I'm not criticizing.
I hear you.
From that standpoint.
You're just
using
commenting
it as
on
a
Buck,
reference,
you're
as a
commenting on
reference,
Wagner,
because he is omnipresent. Bob Wagner in the world universe of media and movies and TV.
Of course he is. He's a legendary actor.
He's a legend. Okay, so but this
he does have
All-Star
that
game,
stare. He's got that stare that kind of gets in there and kind of catches
does.
your attention with that stare.
Yeah, he has the look of roses being looked at.
Oh, now that's a line there. He has the look of roses being looked at. Actually enjoying the look of the roses.
See?
Yes.
You get it?
Okay, so it's actually a compliment. Well, all right, so anyway, so you're talking, you didn't necessarily, the announcing wasn't necessarily.
But what I'm saying is you don't really want to do that.
Right.
You know? Okay.
Yeah,
okay. So anyway, but there are rules and regulations, and there's things you do, there's things that are better that you do if you don't do certain things, and
yes,
and Joe Buck, Jack Buck, his father.
Yeah, the father was great.
Was a St. Louis Cardinal football, St. Louis Cardinal baseball guy, and a national broadcaster, and he was great. But Joe Buck, as I said to you before, there's examples of his boredom.
Well, I think, and I'm not, I like Joe Buck, but I'm not totally defending him or whatever. But there is.
But why do you like him?
But here's the thing. I think to give a little support to him, he's working for the baseball, and he's got to make something big out of a game that they've destroyed politically, as you're saying. He's got to make it seem bigger than it is, talking about and it is probably the best all-star game. They said that last night. This is the best all-star of any team sport. I agree with that. It probably is.
Baseball is the best all-star.
The all-star game, because it has meaning to it,
pro football,
which I can't stand the meaning. Yes, they did.
Should stop that.
Yeah,
pull the plug on
Pro
that.
Bowl comes out at the end of the season like nobody even cares.
No, you can't. You can't even come close
Right?
to being in a Pro Bowl.
Hockey game is number 2. The hockey all-star game probably is number 2 to baseball.
No, they're not skating out there. And baseball, they're pitching and they're hitting and they're going to groove one for you, and everything relies on it. It's a big deal to lose that game.
So anyway, there you have it. That's our look at the All-Star game on the Sports Show. CRN listeners, when you come to Southern California, stop by a great restaurant, the Dresden Restaurant at 1760 North Vermont Avenue in Hollywood. Enjoy great entertainment, like the music of the legendary Marty and Elaine at the world-famous Dresden Restaurant. The Dresden was the location for the making of the movie Swingers. Now you can swing with stars Marty and Elaine. Plus, enjoy great food, too, like French onion soup, artichoke hearts, and many other great appetizers. Seafood, there's salmon, shrimp scampi, New Zealand orange roughy, halibut, Lake Superior whitefish, and specialties like veal marsala, piccata, and parmigiana. Plus, we've got a great roast rack of lamb, chicken piccata, and cordon bleu, and pasta dishes, too. Steaks, filet, New York, Chateaubriand for 2. Much more, too, including pork chops, prime rib of beef, and an incredibly extra large cut of prime rib. It's the Dresden Restaurant, open for lunch Monday through Saturday and dinner Monday through Sunday. Check us out at 1760 North Vermont Avenue or call 323-665-4294.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. With one phone call, you'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information. It's a free service, so call now.
Call now, 800-704-6182, 800-704-6182.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644.
The Doug Steffen Good Day program, early morning radio, and I guess it is radio, although it's radio on TV because this is CRN Digital Talk. You can find out what's going on in the world. We talk about the issues of the day, the events of the day, the people that people are talking about. We have an interesting way of looking at the news and having a little fun with the issues. So if you want to have some fun, learn a few things, and get up on the right side of the world, Doug Steffen's Good Day program, weekday mornings, 2 to 7 a.m. on CRN Digital Talk.
Welcome back to the Sports Show, CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Michael Horn, the star of our show, the acting legend, the football legend, the one and only Mr. Fred Dreyer.
Thank you so very much. We have a great fan base, as we've talked about before, and I just feel compelled. We're only on once a week.
Saturday,
four
Sunday,
times
the
a month,
the weekends,
but we're on the weekends and stuff and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But we don't really get enough airtime.
You want to be a Monday through Friday show, don't you?
To be interacting with people like I think we should. And but the fan mail is just
pouring in here.
I just
good.
want to read a couple of names.
Let me tell everybody, the email address is Fred Dreyer, F-R-E-D. There's your Fred, D-R-Y-E-R, Fred Dreyer, at CRN, like Charlie, Robert, Nancy, CRN Talk, TALK.com. And Fred reads them on the air. You can follow him on Twitter, Fred_Dreyer, D-R-Y-E-R, and Facebook.com/The Real Fred Dreyer. What you got there?
Well, we have a just a compilation of fan emails. I just wanted to read off some of the people who have taken the time. Rick Perry, Debbie Crawley, Marty Boren, I believe that's B-O-E-R-E-N.
What do they say?
Ashley Marie.
Do they have questions or anything for you we can answer?
Ashley Marie says, I have been one of your biggest fans since I was a little girl. And now that I'm 40, I'm still one of your biggest fans. I still have every episode of Hunter that I recorded. I'm glad to see you're doing well.
Do you have a favorite episode of Hunter? Is there one that's...
I've got two of them.
What are they?
I've got a top five. We did 160 of them.
So you did 160 Hunters.
Yeah, about that.
Okay.
And then I did about 5 of them, I think, that are...
Okay, what were they? Remember? Can one pop into mind?
I can't remember the names of them, but there were some that were...
Will you research it and bring it to the show?
Yeah, I have
I want to know what your
home.
favorite episodes are so we can look them up and watch them.
Yeah, but there's a
Elizabeth Taylor
couple
was a
that
big
are
fan. Stars
really good ones. I mean, the ones that were exceptional.
Okay. And what made them exceptional? Just the writing?
The story.
The story, yeah.
The story, how we the director matching the director up with the piece, and
it gets down to the writing, doesn't
editing.
it?
Well, it is. Yeah, it's that and the casting, the people that we cast for these things. Every week you got to go out and you shake the can to see who you can get to be on your show.
And you had legendary Stephen Cannell production there, wasn't it?
Yeah, Steve was
one of the greatest.
Yeah.
He is missed, I'll tell you that.
He was a beauty. Gail Morgan.
What does she say?
Gail S. Morgan. It is Wednesday, and I so need my dose of Fred Dreyer. Looking forward to 4 p.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time.
Gail likes to, and we do a shout out to Gail. Gail's great.
That's
Love
great.
her. Big fan of the show.
And we have people who have called in, who have literally written in. And I love you, Fred Dreyer and Mike Horn.
Oh.
Very best wishes to you. God bless you both.
Who's that from, Tomas?
This is from Claudia Lucia Martinez
much better.
Granados.
Thank you, Claudia, very much. It's much better than hearing it from our line producer,
and,
Tomas.
but anyway, there's just an awful lot of them.
Us,
Sean Nelson, you're the best. Ashley Marie.
He's talking to you on this one, right, Sean?
Yeah.
Okay.
And happy birthday, Fred Dreyer.
Boy, did we have a
sure love
birthday
your show.
celebration with you. We should talk about that.
It's still going on, by the way.
We had a birthday celebration. First off, I take Fred to lunch for his birthday, right? We take him to lunch. And then I got to go to the airport on an airport pickup to pick up the lovely Cynthia. And the traffic is bad. And so I said, it's Fred Dreyer's birthday. And she said, oh, he can't be alone. We should go ahead and call him. I said, let's relax. I took him out for lunch. Well, so we call up Fred, and he goes, I'll take a rain check. And then all of a sudden he said, where are you? And I mentioned we were in Santa Monica, and immediately a very expensive restaurant popped up into your head.
No, it isn't.
And you said, let's go to this place. The next thing I know, what a great evening we had.
No, here's what happened.
What happened?
Let me
Please.
straighten you out
Please.
once again.
Please, we're in the huddle with Fred Dreyer. Straighten it out.
I just get home. It's around 4:00,
Yeah.
right?
From having a great lunch with me.
Well, you're one of the stops I made along the day.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I got more to my story. Keep
Yeah.
going.
So anyway, we had a nice lunch with Courtney Cadera because it
We
was
did.
her
Courtney,
birthday on the 7th, which was the following.
And
day.
Courtney was very nice to have at lunch. Very
Yes, she
polite,
tolerated
beautiful,
you.
wonderful person.
She tolerated
she
you.
does.
I-
She is
I
the one person
complimented
here,
her.
even better than my daughter, who I think tolerates me very well.
Yeah, many
My
tolerate
daughter is
you.
my daughter. She's got that father-daughter thing. But Courtney, she's able to handle
Let me
it.
just
She
tell
kind
you,
of goes like,
you're,
okay.
you're being tremendously tolerated.
That's thing. You tolerate me. so.
So I'm home.
Yes.
And where I live, if you go south or north on the freeway,
At traffic time.
yeah, you're there for about 3 days.
So it was a
So
traffic
when
thing.
you said we're now in Santa Monica,
You said, wait a minute.
and I said, well, wait just a second. Where
That's
are
west.
you in Santa Monica? If you go east and if you go west at 4:00,
Yes.
in Beverly Hills,
You're okay.
you're okay because you're going against
The
and
tra-
away from the traffic.
You-
I got down to what was it? Stonehill? Where the heck that place was?
Yeah, what it was called. It was
Hillstone.
Houston's.
Hillstone.
It was the
It was
Houston's that has become Hillstone.
It's Hillstone.
Yeah.
So I said, I know exactly where that is. It's on 2nd and Wilshire, caddy corner from the
You picked it.
Miramar Hotel, which is where my daughter was married.
At that restaurant?
That's correct. No, at the hotel across.
Oh, at Fairmont.
It's a very famous. That's where Howard Hughes had his bungalows, and he
Yes.
kept all.
We also went to the
all of
Fairmont
his,
after dinner for a very expensive
yes,
cocktail.
all of his guys he kept in there. So here's the deal. We
Didn't
get
know
there.
port is
We
that
get there.
expensive.
Yeah, we get there, and it's a wonderful evening.
It was great.
We had artichokes, and
the artichokes were great there.
yeah, I made no artichoke jokes.
Nope.
I just got
The
right into
artichokes
it.
were great. The salmon was fabulous. Look, you got Paul Stern, Mr. Dining Companion, is there listening to this. Now he's going to go to the restaurant. He can't believe that I
Paul.
took you to Hillstones. Yeah, Paul is one of the great diners.
Once Paul gets home, he can't come out because the street in front of him is too crowded.
We were going to call him, but he was
Isn't that right?
He was trapped.
Neighbor Paul.
Trapped. There was some kind of altercation going
Well,
on.
anyway, I went down past Paul's house and on the way
Did you wave at Paul?
on the way to Wilshire Boulevard to go west to meet with you and the
could have
lovely
picked him up,
Cynthia. And
yeah.
as I went by Paul's house, I began laughing because I noticed
Was he out in his bathroom
he
again?
wasn't home yet. You were still in traffic. Okay, so anyway, we had a great time at Hillstone.
And then you suggested let's
And,
go for a cocktail.
So I said, let's go across and really get drunk and tie it on.
Well, this time I
so
was
we
really
went. We
tired.
we went across the street, and you were about ready to go.
it was quite.
You
quite a day
were
with you.
really about ready. I figured the only way to do Mike is either get a quilt for him,
Yeah.
tuck him in the back seat,
Ah.
while Cynthia and I celebrated what was left
was
of my
great.
birthday, or you should get hammered.
And they loved you. They brought you desserts at that Fairmont.
They did.
Like 3 different desserts. It said
That's
"Happy
correct.
Birthday, Fred" on there.
That's correct.
I took pictures of it, stuck it, and it was
You know,
quite a
I'm,
great celebration.
I'm Mr. California.
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Los Angeles, and I get around, and everybody kind of.
well,
Everybody
we love
knows
you.
me. They know me.
We love you. Your daughter's away.
And
we feel like we want to celebrate with you. So I go and
You
I
were
see,
wonderful.
I go see our friend Dr. Michael Sheps, who does all the great sports medicine with the laser, the hot laser and stuff. And I went there on Saturday. I said, I saw Fred. I took him for his birthday. And he goes, yeah. He says, I called him. I want to take him out for his birthday, but apparently other people are taking him out. There's a line, and I went, wait a second. Maybe Fred has some kind of a plan here. So you've been getting people to take you out for your.
I prorate the dinners over about a month.
So you go in there and say, "Yeah, it's my birthday today."
Hey,
People
listen,
say, "Let me
I-
take you out to your
You
dinner."
know something? There's only 24 hours in the day. Actually, 12. Actually.
Yeah.
If you're awake.
Great.
So
You're still celebrating.
But I'll let you take me out next week. So I line it up. I get my book
You
out.
actually told me
and I line it
tonight
up.
you wanted to go again for
Well,
a
of
birthday
course. I wanted to take you out.
dinner. Go out to a birthday again.
Yeah, I want to take you out, and
It was a fabulous birthday. To spend your birthday was great fun.
No,
it
it
was
was
a
great.
big day. It was good. You're the legend.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
people
yeah.
are loving you, and the Rams are starting to play football. And I'm glad to see that you have a history again. Because when the Rams left, it's like, hey, he's with the Rams. What, the L.A. Rams? No, they're St. Louis now.
Well,
they're
I
the
just
LA
got. I
Rams.
just got. Listen to this. I just got this thing sent to me
Ram Fest. What is that?
It's a
July
Ram Fest.
coming up.
Someone sent it to me. It is a.
It was over now.
It's a Rams Boosters Club, and there's many of them. I don't know if there's an official Rams. I don't know if the team or the organization has formally established and crowned and acknowledged, yes, this is the official Rams team, and everything that this Boosters Club organization does is signed off by us. I don't believe they have one of those yet. I don't know if they're going to have one. So it's kind of like a slugfest for people to claim we're the Booster Club.
Right.
So anyway, so you get a lot. I get a lot of these things over the years. I used to get them. From a group in Orange County who would say, come on down and on this Sunday because the Rams are playing the 49ers in St. Louis. And I said, wait a minute, what am I going down there? What am I going to Orange County for? To watch the Rams in St. Louis play?
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't get it.
When they were in St. Louis, did they contact you ever for Rams Day? No, they could care less, right?
No.
See, it was like it's a whole different thing.
That organization's not contacting me.
Yeah.
Not when Georgia ran it.
Exactly.
I don't want to get into it. Don't ask me.
Oh, this is a question.
Yeah. Anyway,
Really?
it's a long story. But the point is that they had one July 9th here. They had a Rams get together. They call it a Ram Fest, and there's a lot of people here. You can see it's kind of hard to see here in this small photograph.
Yeah, especially after you've had a shot in your eye.
Yeah, but there's a lot of great fans in LA who never quit being supportive of the Rams, no matter if they were in St. Louis or not. But I get stuff like this all the time. I never went. And it's just it was in Chino.
Wow,
that's
almost as far as St. Louis.
You might as well.
That's going east.
Yeah, that is going east.
Traffic time.
But so anyway,
so happy birthday to you, by the way.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
It's a big day for you. Last Wednesday was the official birthday, and it's. I
got a happy birthday from my grandkids.
Oh yes, that's the
puppy.
Yeah.
And the kids are saying,
did they sing to you?
No, they're saying, happy birthday, you're 70. Happy birthday,
but
you're 70.
They call you, the great Fred Dreyer, the Sultan of Safeties, Poppy?
So sometimes, but
Poppy?
I have them call me Fred Dreyer.
Okay.
Any Napa guy knows, and science proves, the best minivan is the one you've already got. Part kid transporter, part drywall mover. Who cares if the faux wood grain is a little faded? That was a platinum package option in 1987. With over 400,000 parts and a little Napa know-how, you can keep anything on the road. Because it's not old, it's vintage. That's Napa know-how.
You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain, pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com. 310-873-4422.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
CRN listeners, when you come to Southern California, stop by a great restaurant, the Dresden Restaurant at 1760 North Vermont Avenue in Hollywood. Enjoy great entertainment, like the music of the legendary Marty and Elaine at the world-famous Dresden restaurant. The Dresden was a location for the making of the movie Swingers. Now you can swing with stars Marty and Elaine. Plus, enjoy great food, too, like French onion soup, artichoke hearts, and many other great appetizers. Seafood, there's salmon, shrimp scampi, New Zealand orange roughy, halibut, Lake Superior whitefish, and specialties like veal marsala, piccata, and parmigiana. Plus, we've got a great roast rack of lamb, chicken piccata, and cordon bleu, and pasta dishes, too. Steaks, filet, New York, Chateaubriand for two. Much more, too, including pork chops, prime rib of beef, and an incredibly extra large cut of prime rib. It's the Dresden Restaurant, open for lunch Monday through Saturday and dinner Monday through Sunday. Check us out at 1760 North Vermont Avenue or call 323-665-4294. Welcome back to the Sports Show, coming to you from CRN Digital Talk Radio, Sports USA and Sports Byline. I'm Michael Horn, along with the legendary, the one and only, acting legend, sports football legend. He was a baseball player in college, the one and only Fred Dreyer.
Thanks so very much. You know, I go through this these notes that we have here that lovely Courtney Cadera,
our executive
provides
producer, puts
us
this
with,
together.
and she does a great job scouring the surface of the globe, looking for sports stuff. And then there's also stuff that is not sports-related stuff, but has to do with sports people.
Yeah.
And one of the stories is, and I don't mean to laugh, but I'm laughing because it's the same old story that Lamar Odom is continuing to have problems.
He was taken off a Delta flight on Monday after getting wasted in the airport lounge and then vomiting on the plane. What is wrong with this guy? He was in the coma. He almost died. And TMZ learns this, that he was in the Delta lounge at LAX. He boarded the red eye for New York City, and he was pounding down beers and whiskey. What's with this guy, Fred Dreyer?
He's troubled terribly, and he's flawed, like many people are, but he's not able to handle it clearly. And it's the fear of everybody is that he's just going to one day
He can be dead.
Wind up dead.
He goes to his seat 4B, according to TMZ, sits down, the plane's about to pull back.
That's a good seat, by the way. I've been in 4B.
Is that one of your
It's
favorites?
a great seat. You're up
So
to
he's
the
in with-
front in
he's
case
in the
you
front.
need to get out.
Well, he did. They were about to pull back, and he bolted for the front, threw up in the galley, and then walked to the bathroom with the door open. He threw up again, comes out of the bathroom. He had junk all over his clothes, and the passengers told the flight attendants they had him gently escorted Lamar off the plane. A cleaning crew has to come in. Well, what a waste. This is a waste. Now, I've heard of people getting airsick before on the plane and things like that, but I mean, come on. And then,
But he had he had vomit on his sweatpants, and took the seat, and went back to his seat again. Is he sitting next to anybody?
yeah, 4B. You know, there's
4B, there's an A
4A.
and there's a C.
Yeah.
So
they put the attendants take his belongings in a plastic bag, remove him from the plane, and then about 10 minutes later, he reappears and he walks down the aisle with, as you mentioned, stuff all over his sweatpants, took his seat again, and then Lamar gets up, goes back to the bathroom using the heads of people on their seats to steady his balance. And one of the passengers told the attendant, "Don't you know this history? I don't want a dead body at 30,000
well, there
feet."
it is. There it is.
This
This situation is
sad.
now sifted down to where it is common, and it is common sense that this guy, you can't be around. If you see him coming, you got to leave, because I don't want the guy dropping dead. There's a friend of mine, you know, I was walking in Beverly Hills many years ago with him, and George was a big fat guy at the time. He's fine now. But
His name was George?
Well, I'll just call him George.
Just call him George.
But so George was talking to me, and I was looking around. I said, "George, you know, you're gaining weight as we speak here. What's?" He said, "No." He says, "You look, at my luck, I'll have a massive stroke, and I'll be dead by the time I hit the sidewalk."
He said that to you?
Yes, we said. And then, tongue in cheek.
Right.
And then I said, "Or maybe not. Maybe you'll have a massive stroke, hit the deck, and you'll be in a wheelchair
that's
being
bad.
pushed around by a loved one for the next 45 years.
And so what
And
happened?
he looked at me and he said, "Gee, I never thought of it that way."
And so what happened?
And I said, "I mean, you've got to
Responsibility.
you've got to stop eating."
Yeah.
You know, and it's the same with this. You know, somebody has to lasso this guy. Certainly, it's not the Kardashians. I think that's one of the reasons it
That's
set him
probably
off.
one of the reasons.
That set him off.
Yes.
My favorite episodes were in the earlier days when Lamar was walking around in the background. They had a pool scene where they're talking about, should we go to France or not, and for the weekend. And in the back, Lamar Odom just kind of like walking through the garden. And
Was he vomiting?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, I don't know if he was drunk or not, but I mean, then he sits in the back when before Bruce became a chick,
Had
he
a
was
sex change operation.
no, he didn't have an operation.
Okay. Oh, he did?
No.
Okay.
He's still Bruce.
Okay.
So Lamar's sitting in the background on a couch, eating ice cream while the scene is going on.
I never knew this.
Nobody asked him a question.
You watched the Kardashians.
Nobody
I've never seen an
asked
episode.
him a question on the show.
Okay.
He couldn't interact with his wife and his family, and he was just kind of walking around, stammering around. And now he's doing the same routine in airport lounges. He's doing an airport lounge routine.
Did you watch the Kardashians on your new TV? This must have been on the old TV that was not quite focused.
You know
in.
something?
The
Can I tell you
projections
something?
Yes.
Here's the truth about
Maybe you
that.
didn't know you were watching the Kardashians. At the time.
I don't run home to watch it because I know that it's on 6 channels. And I'll
can catch it.
And if I watch the news or I skim it late at night, there they are. There's the whole family. There's the mother trying to be 22 again and dressed like her daughters and trying to outdo her daughters. It's sick.
Okay.
And then you've got a phone call from Bruce, and he's down at the beach, trying to decide if he's Arthur or Martha.
And poor Robert Kardashian, he's just he checked out after that OJ trial shortly thereafter.
Yeah, he couldn't take it.
He couldn't take it anymore. Hey, you know who's been knocking on our door here? Apparently, neighbor Paul wants to come in and chat with you.
Where is neighbor Paul?
He lives very near Fred. It's Fred's neighbor.
Yeah, we know where he
Paul
lives, but
Stern.
where is he right now?
Well, he's coming in the doorway. He wanted to bring some show and tell and to tell you a little bit about something that he's
Neighbor
got.
Paul, come on in.
Come on, neighbor. Sit down here a little bit. And ladies and gentlemen, please say hello to neighbor Paul.
You got the laptop here, Bud. What's
Yes,
up?
What do you have?
Hey, Fred. Hey, Mike.
Pull that mic a little closer.
Glad to be
There
with you
go.
guys. I was surfing the internet and I came across a website called wonderfulworldofhunter.net.
Oh, my goodness, what a discovery.
And I clicked
wonderful,
on one
wonderful.
of the hotkeys and I came across the page that has the notable hunter guest stars.
Oh.
And there is an array of people, past and present, that
7 years. 7 years of guests.
Did you have a favorite guest star that you worked with?
I don't know who we have.
Who
there.
you- what's
Well,
the
you got
list?
a lot of great ones like Bo Svensson. Remember?
Bo Swenson. He
Yeah,
was good.
from The Walking Tall. Remember The Walking
yeah.
Tall? He did the Buford Pusser.
He was the first year.
The first year that was probably
Never called back.
1984.
Okay, who else?
Dennis Farina.
Oh, that's
Dennis
a good one.
was
Yeah,
good.
Dennis is good.
He
Yeah.
was. You talked about one of our favorite shows, The Snow Queen, which was 2-parter, had Dennis Farina and Dennis France in it.
Oh, really?
Dennis France.
Dennis
This was
France.
the possibility of something in the
Well,
future.
here's what it was. The network notified Steve Cannell, we're closing the show down. It's because it was on Friday night.
Right.
And he said, we're writing a 2-parter that's going to really be great. We're going to put a lot of people in it. And we want to
Do this when it
we
leaves.
want you to see it before you cancel the show. So they ran this show and they promoted it, and it got great numbers. So they had a meeting on the weekend, Steve and Brandon Tartikoff, and Steve said, please move us to Saturday night at 10 o'clock. Get us out of the 10 o'clock Friday
Stuff.
opposite Dallas.
Right.
Was a juggernaut.
Right.
Let us go on Saturday night at 10 o'clock, right before the news.
And the rest is
As a
history.
lead-in for the news,
And there you go.
and that was it.
A lot of great guest stars.
Who
So
else?
Efren Zimbalist Jr.
Oh, yeah.
Ephraim.
My dad used to call him Zimfrem because he forgot his name.
This one that kind of catches me a little bit by surprise, but not exactly a big surprise, of the former police chief of Los Angeles, Daryl Gates.
Come on.
That's
You
right.
had Daryl Gates on there?
Yes, we're good pals.
How was he as an actor? Because he was
He was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good.
Did he play himself?
Yeah, we had him. It was a cemetery scene where he was burying a police officer, and so he comes over to me and says, Hunter, man to man, I want you to get this guy, and I mean get him. You understand me? Yes, Chief. So that was the scene.
So you were working for that chief, basically. That was the unwritten rule. Yes,
Absolutely.
That's a great one there. And by the way, great recall of that and great acting here.
Thanks
right
so
now,
much.
You're welcome. Well, who else?
But here's one, no pun intended, but this guy actually recently was, I guess, kind of enlisted or recruited for, I guess, member of the department, Eric Estrada.
Eric, yes.
Cousin Wally did his divorce and called him Mr. Eric Estrada. And Eric never corrected him because he was a judge. Cousin Wally was the marital courts judge.
I mean, I cannot get over this list of stars.
Eric Estrada was good. That was probably prior to Chips,
We
right?
have more stars on our show than there are in the heavens.
How about this one? Ed O'Neill from Married with Children?
Ed was good. I hung Ed by his ankles out
Over
of
a
a
roof?
hotel in Santa Monica.
That was the scene?
That was the scene. And
So
he says, please let me go. I said, I'm going to let you go, but you got to tell me what I want to know. Yeah.
Wow.
And again,
I'm going to get on your bad side. I don't want to be hung by my... You'll let go of me. I'm too big.
Oh, man.
Listen, I can't hold
we
you
were
anymore, Mike.
way ahead. That's why people used to write in. That's what we should do to bad guys. Hang them out of the window.
Yes, and you did it.
Yeah.
Talk about bad guys. I bet this one was a bad guy. Isaac Hayes. What did he do on Hunter?
Isaac, yeah. He was a nightclub owner, I believe, in one of the episodes, and a murder took place, and we had to, he had to help us.
Had to help you find the murder?
Yeah, well, he had to give us information stuff, so he was on the show, and that
Kind of shook him down for the story.
yeah. I kept telling him, I said, look, get the sequined, sleeveless tank top.
You told him that?
Yeah.
And then he did Shaft shortly thereafter, probably,
Yeah,
right?
he said, man, this Hunter thing's a good gig, man.
That was good. Good. Who else
I
was on?
got to ask you about this. This is the one that maybe our
So
audience
I haven't
probably.
heard any women on there.
I was going to say no.
Well, there's a lot of women on
I got one for you.
Okay.
No doubt about this one. Jane Russell.
Jane was good.
Jane Russell?
We did a show out there at Tony Caruso, who was a mobster, owned a house out in Malibu, right on the cliffs.
Yes.
And Jane was one of the one of his associates. And
Is that what we call him?
Well, she was one of his associates.
Yes, okay.
And because she's an elderly woman now, she's now playing a teenager.
Right.
But the story was about when she was a teenager, certain
Oh.
things happened. Anyway, but she was great. We had a lot of good fun out there.
Who else? Give me some more women. What are they? Give me a couple of women. Come on.
How about this one? Boy, she just made the news. I hate to kind of say this, but not in necessarily a positive way. The artist Chaka Khan.
Oh, Chaka Khan. Yeah. Chaka Khan.
Did she pass?
No, she went into rehab because apparently
That's what it was.
She was hooked on the same stuff that
Prince
was on. She admitted it, and she's getting help now.
Good for her.
She had pain, using those as painkiller deals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who else? Come on, give us another.
Oh boy, another one for instance, Garrity Sinise.
Gary Sinise was good.
Probably one of his early roles.
Yeah, he was. He came on as a killer who was killing Irish women.
Oh my God! How about this one, Jesse Ventura, The Body?
The Body, Jesse.
He must have been that must have been a cut up.
Jesse.
John Matuzak and Jesse.
John Matuzak, yes.
John Matuzak. I saw John last night on one of these sci-fi movies he did a long time ago.
Okay, what did he do?
It was so wonderfully bad.
That was great.
Oh, it was so great.
Now, do they list the episodes in there, like top episodes?
I'm going to have to kind of research this thing a little bit more. There's a lot to get on.
You can do it, neighbor Paul.
How about this one, though? Here's one for you. Melvin Belli, the attorney.
Yeah, Melvin.
So you had a lot of stars and real life people starring on the show then.
Yeah, I told Melvin, I said, look, Melvin, I'm a celebrity, so if I ever get in trouble, can I count on you? Absolutely. There's no question. He just went off.
Absolutely.
I got for personal reasons, a big fan of the Brady Bunch, but you worked with actor Robert Reed.
Oh, yeah.
Robert Reed, who was in the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Was he
Robert
a killer
Reed.
or was he a good guy?
No, he was. He wasn't. I think he was. I think he went to jail. I think that's what.
But I'm talking about in the episode.
Didn't he play
No,
in
I think he went to jail.
Wasn't he in the TV series The Defenders back in the 1960s, I think?
Marshall and me, Robert Reed.
I don't know.
That was Robert Reed in the
I
Defenders.
mean, we're going way back.
Yeah.
This probably was one of his more kind of later
Who were
roles.
some of the girls? Lydia
Yeah,
Cornell.
come on.
Lydia Cornell.
Come on, give me some more girls.
Yeah, Lydia Cornell.
You
The
read the
beautiful,
guys. What
the
about
beautiful
them?
Lydia
Who
Cornell.
else? Who
yeah,
else?
yeah.
Who else?
Okay, well, you're making me act quickly.
Well, come on, neighbor Paul. We only have so much time on a radio show.
Neighbor, this is really.
Sammy Davis.
Sammy was good.
That's not a girl.
He was a boxing.
Give us a girl. We want women here on the show. This is a sports show. We want to know the starring women on the show.
We just mentioned boxing, so formally that falls into the category.
I'm sorry, neighbor Paul. We're going to have to ask you to leave.
Neighbor Paul, Get out.
So I will continue without neighbor Paul.
Claude Akins.
Get
Claude
out,
was
that's not-
good.
That's not a
He
woman.
could cook
Get
too.
out of here, neighbor Paul.
Let me take just a moment or two, if I may, and talk about a great place to eat. That's right, for you folks anywhere in the eastern San Fernando Valley, drop into Bob's Big Boys. That's right, in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. Now, everybody remembers the name Bob's. They're getting bigger and bigger every day. And little old Bob carrying the hamburger in his checkered overalls is the same Bob that you remember from back through the years. And, of course, if you want to go in for a great lunch, remember their classic burger, the original double-deck hamburger combination. Delicious 100% pure ground beef in 2 patties with American cheese, lettuce, and our famous Big Boy's special sauce. The name is Bob, and I think when you go in, you'll say, by golly, I'm sure glad that I found this restaurant because it's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They've got all kinds of things, and all you have to do is remember. Bob's Big Boy in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. It's a great place to eat.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644.
This is Larry Minetti for Herpanacin, the acne medication that really works from the inside out. If you suffer from skin problems, Herpanacin is the most unique and effective formula on the market. It cleans your skin from the inside out and gets rid of all kinds of acne and blemishes on your back, neck, and your face. It works so well, you can look and feel like a movie star. Herpanacin, a natural supplement created by Dr. Wayne Diamond. You take a pill, and that's it. I've been on these supplements, and they really work, folks. Don't be afraid to look in the mirror ever again. Get Herpanacin today. Call 888-467-4200. That's 888-467-4200. Herpanacin, it really works. 888-467-4200. Tell them Larry Minetti told you to call and look and feel like $1 million with Herpanacin. Call 888-467-4200.
Mention George.
Welcome back officially, the staff announcer Michael Horsley. Welcome back to the
Well, yeah, we're looking at the
Sports show. Here's Fred Dreyer.
the photographs of many of the actors and actresses.
Neighbor Paul is
that
still
Neighbor
here.
Paul hasn't pulled up yet. And one of them is George Clooney.
I
You didn't mention George Clooney?
I couldn't believe it, but I didn't even recognize him. It was so many years ago.
Well, no,
I guess
he's-
before
he's like 15.
Now, tell us about this. Apparently, your co-star Stephanie had the scenes with George, right?
Yeah,
In
well,
the show?
in the episode, which
Yes.
I don't know the name of. In the episode, she goes undercover, literally,
Wow.
with George, who's
Every woman in the world
who is a playboy up in Malibu, and there's a huge party. See, the great thing about these shows,
Good. Stephanie got a
is
good
that
role there.
once you get a script that has parties in it,
Yes.
then the extra call is for a lot of women for a couple of days
Yeah.
in Malibu poolside.
Oh boy.
So Hunter, while Stephanie is dealing with George Clooney,
Yes.
Hunter is going undercover with the girls at the poolside.
I don't know if you
Yeah,
can,
there. That's
you
it.
can show that on the camera there a little bit, neighbor Paul. There's a
Yeah,
picture
here it is.
of a very young George Clooney. Get it up there a little more. Move it in there. There you go, a little higher.
Yeah, there it
There
is.
you go. That's a great shot of a very young George Clooney.
That's as I remember him.
Yeah.
So anyway, but the point is that she had all of her scenes. I'd never had any scenes with him. I think I shot him, but I mean, I shot him, and he went in the pool.
Did
Anytime
Stephanie-
you have a pool scene, you know
shot him?
somebody's going to fall
You
in.
shot George Clooney, and
I think we did. I think
and
we
he
shot
told
him. Yeah.
Wow. And he went into the pool.
I think I told him. I
That
said,
ended the party.
I loved your aunt. Rosemary.
Rosemary Clooney.
She was great. I loved her.
But
My mother loved her.
We're going to put this I Love they're
No,
singing Come On a Mile. Can we put this up on your page here
let's
from CRN?
let's put this thing on the. Who's that?
That's Lydia Cornell, looking just absolutely marvelous.
That's our show. If you want to
remember that scene.
follow Fred on Twitter, Fred_Dryer.
I'm right
Email
off
him,
to the right-hand side.
Fred Dryer.
She's
at
looking directly
crntalk.com.
at me. All of
Then
me. She's looking at all of me.
Facebook.com/The Real Fred Dryer.
She's looking at all of
Fred
me.
is reminiscing on some great scenes. We're out of time. Final words from Fred Dryer.
Well, the final words are,
Who was looking at
I'm
you?
available poolside.
The radio channels. The radio channels.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters. The White House is defending Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg's criticism of Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump.
The 83-year-old liberal justice didn't hold back on Trump, calling him a faker with an ego who says whatever comes into his head at the moment. At the White House, spokesman Josh Earnest refused to question Ginsburg's competence.
I think over the course of her career, she's demonstrated a keen intellect, an understanding of the law.
Trump blasted the Supreme Court justice, calling on Ginsburg to resign. Greg Clugston, Washington.
But George Washington University law professor Jonathan Turley says he agrees with Trump that Ginsburg was wrong to speak out and call him unqualified to be president.
What Justice Ginsburg did was wildly inappropriate, and in my view, it was indeed unethical.
The House backed legislation designed to circumvent a California order requiring health insurance companies to pay for elective abortions. The legislation passed 245 to 182 on a mostly party line vote on Wednesday. House Speaker Paul Ryan says healthcare providers who refuse to cover abortions should not be penalized.
Whoever you are, whatever you believe, I think this is one thing that we all should agree on. No one should be forced to violate their conscience.
Ryan said the California order and laws like it push people of faith to the sidelines of society. British Prime Minister Theresa May says she plans to lead in the spirit of unity and build a country that works for everyone. After meeting with Queen Elizabeth and assuming the leadership, May said that she will fight against social injustice and that she believes in the unity of all aspects of the United Kingdom. Her rise to power comes in the fallout after Britain's vote to leave the European Union. On Wall Street, the Dow by 24 points, the Nasdaq dropped 17, the S&P unchanged, crude oil down to $45.12 a barrel. More at townhall.com.
Hey there, this is Eric Metaxas. Lately, I've been telling you about Liberty University's online degree programs. Liberty University is the world's largest Christian university with over 95,000 students studying around the world through Liberty's online programs. While there are a lot of universities who've jumped into online education, few can deliver on the promise of a quality education with such flexibility, and even fewer can actually point to a graduate of their online program like my friend Morgan from Nashville.
I did it. I actually got my degree from Liberty University. 2 degrees, actually. Not only has this process taught me self-discipline, I've also learned that it is never too late to fulfill your dreams. And I did it all online. I did it, and you can too.
Call Liberty University now at 800-424-9595. That's 800-424-9595, 800-424-9595, or visit liberty.edu/online. Flexible, affordable, possible. Liberty University Online.
A senior Chinese official has said China has the right to set up an air defense zone over territory it claims in the South China Sea.
At a government press conference today, we were told that, according to Beijing's estimation, there are 70 countries supporting its position on the South China Sea and 230 political parties in 90 countries. So China's saying the vast majority of the world is getting behind it, and really this is a sort of marginal position, those who would support this tribunal finding and those who would support the Philippines.
BBC correspondent Stephen McDonald. The Chinese government is also believed to have hacked into the computers at the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation in 2010, 2011, and 2013, including the workstation of then FDIC Chair Sheila Bair. The report was issued today by Congress and cites a May 2013 memo from the FDIC inspector. More at townhall.com. Japan's Emperor Akihito has announced his intention to abdicate in the coming years.
Emperor Akihito would be the first Japanese emperor to abdicate in 200 years. He ascended the throne in 1989 on the death of his father, Hirohito, who had the status of a living god in Japan, until he was stripped of that role by the victorious Americans who wrote the country's post-war constitution. Today, the emperor's role is purely symbolic. The announcement that he would abdicate did not say when.
BBC correspondent Steve Evans reporting from Tokyo. A year after scrambling by his lawyers, it appears New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady will be dropped for a legal loss. A federal appeals court has flatly rejected Brady's effort to avoid serving a 4-game suspension to start the new season for his role in the so-called Deflate scandal. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's Ristorante in Fullerton, California for authentic family-style Italian dinners. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's and celebrate your party or event in one of our festive banquet rooms. Angelo's and Vinci's, Fullerton, California, 550 North Harbor Boulevard. Named the Orange County Hot List Top 5 Italian restaurant for 7 years in a row. And a Top 10 pizza restaurant by Gale, featuring traditional and award-winning pizzas. Offering Sunday champagne brunch from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., just $16.95. Choose from over 20 items, plus create your own personal omelet. Delicious lunches, including our express lunch buffet, $8.95 with over 15 items, and dinner 7 days a week. Getting married? Angelo's and Vinci's won this year's Wedding Wire Couples Choice Award. You can talk to our experienced staff of wedding coordinators. We treat you as guests at your own wedding reception. It's all at Angelo's and Vinci's Ristorante at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022. 714-879-4022.
Hi, this is Ron Sedgy, inviting you to join me for The Tonight Show of Radio every Saturday night, 9 to 11 Pacific Standard Time on CRN Digital Talk Radio. Now in our 24th year and well over 19,000 guests, The Ron Sedgy Show live originates from our Universal Radio studios. Celebrities from TV, music, movies, literature, politics, and show business, at one time or another, they all come to The Ron Sedgy Show. So why don't you?
Joey Adams, Maury Amsterdam made a trip with a lot of show business people to Afghanistan in the early 1950s, long before any of the present difficulties. John F. Kennedy, as president, sent them over to, win friends for America. And Maury and Joey Adams introduced Maury Amsterdam to the king of Thailand. And Maury Amsterdam stuck out his big fat hand and said, "Hello, King." Kind of shocking, but not as shocking as the other Hollywood guy, I forgot his name, who was introduced to the Dalai Lama, and who stuck out his hand and said, "Hello, Dalai." But neither approaches in shockability Ruth Bader Ginsburg and what she did, not so much to Donald Trump. That was her target. She missed her target by a galaxy or two. She hurt herself. She hurt the Supreme Court. She hurt American democracies. There are dictators around the world giggling in their wine right now. America finally shows its true colors. What do you mean an unbiased Supreme Court where they discuss and debate the issues and decide objectively? Ha, 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 America. You may fool your 6th graders. You may even fool your 8th graders, but you can't fool us real world people. Sarah, have you quit recoiling from Ruth Bader Ginsburg calling Donald Trump the worst possible names you can imagine. I mean, like some longshoreman's bar. And then say, I can't imagine what this country would be like if Trump is elected. It will ruin the country for 4 to 8 years, but it may ruin the Supreme Court. I hate to contemplate, because, Supreme Court appointments are for life. This makes Maury Amsterdam's greeting of the King of Thailand come right out of Emily Post's or Amy Vanderbilt's best book on how to behave in life. This is epic, and if you hear a little zing in my voice, it's because we are for Trump, and anything that helps Trump that is legal and nonviolent is something we appreciate. And I really appreciate the conundrum, the pickle, the absolute disaster that Ruth Bader Ginsburg has visited upon everybody who's not Trump, the Democrats, the liberals, the Supreme Court, and she lined them all up before her firing squad and kept pumping until she ran out of ammunition.
And even the Washington Post, and God forbid, the New York Times.
Washington Post. The Washington Post is Donald Trump's newsletter compared to the New York Times, and the New York Times editorialized, Trump is right. Trump is right. Wow, put me on the hog train.
Well, I'll tell you how I feel about the whole thing after we return.
Very wise. I was going to ask you to wait. They're playing our song right now, and after a very short commercial break, we'll be right back. I'm Barry Farber.
But it's a good thing the mic wasn't on when I was first heard the news.
It's a good thing the mic wasn't on a little later in the day. Well, there are a couple times today you and I have been watching television together, and I was kind of glad the mic, at least the mic near you, was not on. I'm Barry Farber. Tomas perched up there looking down upon the whole scene here and keeping us going worldwide in real time. We'll be back after, as I told you, a very short commercial break.
QL1, this is Control, checking in to see how excited you are for launch. Over? Well, actually, I'm kind of bored. You're about to travel 17,000 miles per hour through Earth's atmosphere and you're bored? It just doesn't sound that exciting after using Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. I was able to get a completely online custom mortgage approval in minutes. Wow, that is impressive. 3, 2, 1. Rocket Mortgage at QuickenLoans.com. Push button, get mortgage. Rocket.
Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
I've got no complaint with the way, Sarah, that Donald Trump is playing this vice president game. I think he's milking every last little drop of possible advantage, and I think it's good, wholesome milk. And I think he's going to get a lot of mileage out of it.
Are you going to let this radio show go on without asking me how I responded to that judge on the Supreme Court?
No. I just figured if you wanted to be coy and gather your thoughts for a few minutes, I'd be polite and let you go ahead, plunge in.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. It is a good thing the microphone wasn't on when I found out what she had done. It is really bad enough that the liberals have been shown up, or that the Supreme Court Justice, I'm not calling her a justice anymore, or that Ginsburg said what she did, or that Trump was abused in that tirade she let loose. What is really abominable is that she had the nerve to speak out as if she were the only one in the world who could say anything wrong about Trump, and she had the right to do it, even though she is a justice, and she should keep her trap shut.
You know, Donald Trump tweeted back, terrible thing, she must be losing her mental capacity. She has embarrassed herself and the Supreme Court. I question her mental ability. Resign.
I don't question her mental ability. I question her sense of justice. This was the most unjust. Can I think of a different word? I mean, you can't
Improper.
Improper. Good. You can't call her a justice anymore. She has relinquished her position as being a fair judge on the highest court in the land. Shame on her, and shame on every liberal and every person in this country who doesn't shake their finger at her.
You know, the best part of it.
You're trying to keep me from talking.
No, I'm not. The best part of it is that Hillary refused to criticize Ginsburg. Now study that for a minute. Study that. Here is Hillary, who pretends to the highest ideals possible inside the head of a human and the heart of a human. She is so idealistic and righteous, always occupying the moral high ground, and she glows in the dark. And she will not criticize this highly improper, disastrous performance.
Did you expect her to?
Well, Sarah, how can she let this go down without criticizing it? Instead, she added criticism of her own and dumped on Donald Trump.
Because she has no class. She doesn't know how to shame people. She can only say vulgar things. I mean, not dirty things, but vulgar attacks on people she doesn't like. Gross attacks on people she doesn't like. But she herself is gross, Hillary. But this adds to her grossness, if there is such a word. But I want to say one more time, don't anybody listening to this radio broadcast or anything within the reach of my voice or anybody that I know in this country or elsewhere refer to Justice Ginsburg as justice ever again. She is not.
And you know, some clouds blow away.
No, this one isn't.
This cloud will never blow away because of the expectable behavior from Supreme Court justices. They are supposed to be so high above it all, they can't even tell which direction it is supposed to lie in.
And do you remember what Brett Baer said on the 6 o'clock Fox News? He said, when Alito was sitting in the Senate or wherever,
during the State of
the Union by Obama.
Yeah.
And Alito had the nerve to shake his head back and forth. No, he didn't agree. He didn't say a word.
That was considered.
Yeah, but I'm saying, even when Alito did that, there was an outburst from the world against him for having the nerve to shake his head back and forth no to something Obama said, which was horrible. I don't remember what it was, but I knew it was horrible.
And the direction that it came from was the left. I don't remember the issue, but I remember that it all came from the left.
And they didn't keep their mouths shut, the left, for weeks. They pilloried him. They admonished him. And how dare them?
Let's do what Einstein used to call a thought experiment. How would it be if a conservative justice, say Clarence Thomas, were to say things about Hillary equally defamatory, equally negative to what Ruth Bader Ginsburg said about Trump? They would call off a California earthquake as being too weak. They would take a pill and lie down. There'd be no way for them to handle that.
Barry, it's impossible for me to conjure that image. what's his name? I forgot it already.
Clarence Thomas.
Clarence Thomas is far too classy, far too dignified, far too imperial to lower himself to any open criticism of a candidate, whether it's from the 18th century or the 19th century. He wouldn't do that. Oh, please, somebody don't call me and tell me that you know he said something bad about Lincoln. Well, he didn't, but I mean, I can't think of anybody in a prestigious position who would do what that Ginsburg woman did.
And you know, there are moments when I really pity the left. Don't be too hard on the left, Sarah. They need a lot of love.
Oh, come on.
They need a lot of love because they have no legitimate defense against us right now.
No.
All they can say is, well, there are a lot of right-wingers on the court, and they listen to what they say. If they are caught saying something at a dinner party,